Yeah, he is, man. You know, he's so low to the ground. He's quick. You know, he causes a matchup problem for anyone who guards. It was fun, you know, get to see Jay out there. You know, he hasn't really got to play that much this year, and to see him out there knocking down shots, playing defense, and you know, contributing to this team, it was a fun game for him and me to watch.
How much progress has he made?
A lot, actually. You know, I think before our last game here against Miami Heat, the game before he's in the D League, he had 9 threes. So, you know, that's always a good thing and a good sign for this team to be able to bring him up another shooter, another scorer on this team.
Welcome back to part 2 of the Garden Report. We're here with Travis Singleton and Julian Edlow. We're going to talk about Marcus Smart now. So Marcus Smart goes into the starting lineup as a point guard, and of course the Celtics win 2 in a row. So that's pretty much all we have to say there.
Me. Makes sense to me too.
So I mean, Evan Turner running the point has its ups, has its downs. Marcus Smart isn't really there as a point guard yet, especially not as a scorer, but he's making good passes, Julian. He's getting into good spots. He seems to be kind of getting a rhythm for kind of like what it's like to be an on-ball point guard in the NBA. And you look at the numbers again tonight, 8 assists, 10 rebounds. Who is he, Russell Westbrook? Or Rajon Rondo?
People compare him to Russell Westbrook. I mean, he's not quite that type of player, but
I
never
heard
that one. That's a poor man's Russell Westbrook, sure. He's young. I mean, he's young. He's young. We'll see what he is.
Still, yeah.
That's true. I mean, I like the move to insert Smart. I've said on the show, you know, a lot of times Sullinger's the best player. Feed him the ball in the low post and stuff. See what you have in Sullinger so that when he becomes your second or third best player, hopefully down the line, he's comfortable in that a go-to player role. That's what you have to do with Smart. Starting Evan Turner at the point guard accomplishes nothing for you long term. So the correct move, it might be unfair to Smart, but I mean, so far he's responded well to it. You throw him into the fire, you see what you have in that player, and so far he's responded. You know, he didn't score the ball tonight. He had 4 points in his 41 minutes. You would like to see that be a little bit better, but he has shot remarkably better from 3 recently. And then, you know, the rebounds, the assists, the steals, the defense. Ty Lawson was really impressed with him when we talked to him after the game with his defense. I'm a fan of giving Marcus Smart more 41, 42-minute nights the rest of the season and just let him go.
Well, just one thing. You said it might be a little unfair to throw him into the fire. Pretty sure if you ask Marcus Smart, he's going to say, I want to start in the NBA, and I want to play every single minute of the game.
I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the biggest thing for me, you know, on the outside looking in, is the fact that he's playing those big minutes now. You know what I'm saying? 40, the 41, that speaks volumes to me.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, that's showing that they have trust in him now, and they're kind of giving them the keys. Like, look, all right, you know, you're our best option right now for the point guard position. You know, at the end of the day, he's making great reads. You know what I'm saying? He's finding people where they want to be found. I saw him hit Avery Bradley a couple of times in the soft spot in the corner 3. So you see the progression in his game, you know, and it's evolving. You know, like how I saw him in summer league is totally different from how I saw him tonight. And I like the progression he's making, you know, because he's growing as the games go on. I mean, Evan Turner compared to his, you know, their ball handling skills is two different.
Very
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
when you actually do a big change like that, drastic change, is actually for the better. You know, and I think that the team will also adjust to that situation too, because if you put him in that situation, he already knew that situation was coming once he got drafted, because he already knew the situation with Rondo. So he was waiting for this moment, and I think he's going to take that moment and actually, you know, be able to shine. And I hope that I honestly, he got snubbed with the rookie sophomore, the rising stars or whatever. But in my books, he was definitely supposed to be there, you know, and that's how good I think he could be.
Well, the thing is, Olynyk's probably not going to play. It would make sense for Smart to replace him, but Smart's a U.S. player, Olynyk's a world player, so we don't really know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
You look at you're talking about the progression of Smart's game. When he first started playing, he was just a spot-up shooter and a defender.
Definitely.
Now they're able to put the ball in his hands. At first, it was just kind of he would dribble around screens, try to find a shot or pass it off. But now he's actually making forward movements. He's making forward and backwards passes. We're seeing that he can come around a pick, get into the mid-range area, and he's able to hit a cutting guy on the baseline or hit a quarter shooter. We saw that he was able to do both of those things. That's the loudest thing in the world rolls by the camera. I can't even hear myself talking right now. Hopefully you can hear
Continue
me.
through the
That's what these
earthquake.
little mics down here are for. But you see there's very clear marks in the way that he's progressing.
Yeah.
He's able to find different types of cutters, different types of shooters. His vision is starting to open itself up.
Yeah.
And he's renowned for being a scorer with really good vision. However, right now he's just a guy with decent vision who's not a scorer. So the next impetus is for him to have that vision, but be able to actually make the move himself. And once he can do that, he's a fairly unstoppable player.
What I like about Smart is that all the things that we kind of said he couldn't do, sometimes it takes 2-3 years for guys to improve upon him. We're starting to see those improvements now, and the earlier we see them, the better he's going to be in year 2, 3 as he progresses. So he shot just a shade under 30% from the college 3-point line in college. He's already shooting, I don't know the exact number right now, but it's
like 38.7.
right. But since he came back from that ankle injury, I think it's around 43. Percent from the NBA.
That's
line.
incredible for a guy that couldn't
ridiculous
shoot
for
going
a 20.
into the NBA.
It's ridiculous for a 20-year-old kid, and he's improving his ball handling, his vision. He can clearly rebound at the NBA level with his size. So, how fast he's improving is what impresses me the most, I would say.
I think the biggest thing for him is actually going up against these all-star point guards and actually picking them apart. You know what I'm saying? Actually being able to assess what they're doing offensively and try to pick. Lawson was very tough.
He was really good tonight.
He was really good, and Lawson gave him his props tonight. And it just speaks to the IQ that he has for the game, because defensively, everybody knows he can try to, when he gets in that lockdown mode, he can lock them down. But also, how do you lock somebody down but still try to pick their brain and try to be able to be like, okay, let me add this to my game, let me do this, let me do that. So I think as he plays these great guards and actually sees what they're doing, he's going to be able to do the same thing his second and third year, and he's going to be able to learn. The NBA is bumps and bruises, and I think once he gets over that, he'll be all set.
Well, I guess what he learned from Lawson tonight was to be a lot faster and a lot better ball handler, because Lawson is so fast, it's unbelievable. Yes. Both in his agility, just going through the lane, his acceleration down the court. He is unbelievably fast. He kind of reminds me a little bit of what Rondo was doing when he was kind of in the early prime of his career.
He's very elusive. That's one thing. I saw him do some passes tonight where I was like, oh man, he had one where he just passed it like he was shooting, but he flipped it backwards, and I was like, what is this guy? This guy is unbelievable.
A little bit of genius up there.
Yeah, I mean, he's leading the Western Conference in assists, so he has to get some credit, and he's been playing well for them.
It's kind of funny how you talk about assists. The two guys averaging 10 assists in the league right now are John Wall and Ty Lawson.
Exactly.
And a couple years ago, we're barely even cracking 6 assists a game.
Yeah.
So we're how did the assist numbers kind of turn around over time.
Yep.